Well, hello class. Just thought I'd make a quick video on how to get your doors, windows into your cabin floor plan. Um, the first thing I need to mention, when you put doors and windows in, the tops of your windows need to line up with the tops of your doors. The reason we do that is because of human vision, human line of sight. Humans horizontally, when walking upright, so at about a 22-degree angle from the horizontal plane downward. So that way you can look through the door, you can look through your window. So we're going to locate these windows. Now I'm kind of strange. I like to be on whichever layer that I'm going to draw on. So the way the book reads, everything's on the elevations layer. But me, I'm kind of weird. I'm going to insert windows, so I want to be on the windows layer. I call this the offset method for a reason. I want to offset, I want to find this 2830. That's 2 foot 8, 32-inch window. Remember, these are plan view, but I'm looking for elevation view. So I'm going to hit offset, find the insertion point of my window, and then find the far right corner of my wall. Then go to my wall in the front elevation and offset it that way. So then go to insert, look for ELE window, 32 inch. It's going to be 2 foot 8, this one. Oh, before we do, hold on. You want to draw a construction line off the bottom of the finished foundation floor and then move that up 80 inch, 6 foot 8, which is typical with residential. That way when I go insert, look for that window, and make sure I like to be on a Windows layer. I'm going to make sure I'm on a Windows layer. Insert window, there we go, okay. Look for intersection there. So there's a front door here. Again, I like to be on whichever layer. The way the book reads, it's all on the elevations layer. So here's doors layer. I want to locate that door. So I'm going to press offset, go to layer, switch it to source, from source to current. I'm going to use the ticks of my dimension line. So I'm going to left click, and then go to the wall down here, offset that, go to block, insert, look for ELE door, 3 foot 0 inch. You're going to want to use the bottom midpoint there. The two windows here, you got two 3040s here. That's a 36-inch wide window. Those are wide windows. Again, let me get on the windows layer. I'm weird like that. Everything, you should draw everything on the elevations layer, but if you want to follow me, that's fine too. I want to offset this 2 foot 4, so corner to insertion point, left wall, that way. It should read out 2 foot 4. Right click exit, right click repeat. Center window here, center window there. Offset that back. Go to block, insert, look for ELE window 3 foot. Now, be careful with snap settings here. You want to hit it just right. You could easily make a mistake here. And I don't have to insert it over and over. Let me just copy it from that insertion point here to this intersection there. Okay. One problem. This is called, the trim around doors and windows is called a casing. And this casing would all be the same. I don't know if there's a button for this command, but there's a command called wipeout. So with wipeout, I just got to type it in. W-I-P-O-U-T. Wipeout. Kind of works like when you were measuring area. You got to begin somewhere, work sequentially around a perimeter, and you have to end where you began. Okay? Now let me move that. We're going to move that by layer. Okay. For you structural engineers, when you got two wide windows like that and a short wall, that is a structural concern. They would double up the wood down the center here. They would call it a mullion. So let me use that wipeout command again. Oh, if you hit this drop down arrow in the command bar, it gives you your recent commands. I'm going to use wipeout again, and this time I want to draw that mullion. So endpoint. This one's kind of funny. You got to use polar tracking, right? Polar tracking, and you have to end where you began. So I got to end up here. All it does is block things out from behind it. Let me make sure that's by layer. Okay. You've got some windows on the bunk room has a 30-40, the bathroom has a 24-inch window, and then you've got a side door. So I'm still on a windows layer. I'm going to use offset from the rear corner perpendicular against the insertion point of my 3040. Go to my rear wall. I'll set it towards the front. Right click exit, right click repeat. Go from center of this window to center of that window. And let's see, insert ELE window 3-footer. I gotta get that one in. Insert 2-footer. Okay, now I got the doors. So let me get on the doors layer. That's just me. That's kind of how I do it. When you go to offset for this, I would use the original floor plan. In the original floor plan, from the right wall of the water heater to the center of that door is 2'2". So you go tick to tick. Pick the ticks here, and then go over here. I'll set this that way. Block, insert, door, 2'8" door. So get that put in there. Okay. Then you can delete your construction lines and your center lines. You can get rid of them at that point. Okay. Next, we're going to begin drawing the porch. And to draw the porch, the front steps, we got two 2x12 steps. So, I don't know, I got a porch layer. I'm going to be on that porch layer, pick line command, off the grade line in the right side elevation. Come out, oh, let me make sure I'm by layer again, by layer. Line, come out 24 inch, rise up 6 inch, come back 12 inch, rise up another 6 inch, and hit the wall. Pick the tops of your treads, your steps, copy them down. They're 2x12, so I copy them down 2 inch. Alright, just kind of stretch this line. If you want to draw section lines are 0.3 millimeter. So you would draw a little crisscross lines through it. You go back to properties, change that back to by layer. What supports your steps, your treads, are called a stringer. So I'm going to draw the stringer next. I go tip to tip. Stringers are always 2x12, so offset 12. Now you could use like extend, and extend this a few times, like that. Oop, yeah. And then use trim, kind of clean it all up, right? That line would not exist anymore. How to draw it in the front view? Draw a line straight across like this, 12 foot. Move it down. The last step is the step up to the finished floor. So I'm going to move this down and step up 6 inch. Now, 6 inch plus 2 inch is 8 inch. So I'm going to make 3 copies. I'm going to copy it down 2 inch, 6 inch, and 8 inch. Should look like that. Stringers. There's a rule on stringers. If a stringer gets longer than 36 inch, if your step gets longer than 36 inch, the tread, you got to add a stringer. So I'm going to pick rectangle command, and I'm going to start with the midpoint here. Draw a rectangle with dimensions of 2 enter, 4 enter. But that's slightly off center, so I got to shift it back over to make the midpoints work. I'm going to move it over an edge. Section lines are 0.3, so if you want to draw them, it's not really something I grade for, but and the author draws this a completely different way. I'm going to copy this from the midpoint of the top tread to the midpoint of the tread below. Every 36 inch you got to add a stringer, but I started with the center, and it's got to be anchored to this concrete foundation. So 36 plus 36 is 72, minus the center of a stringer is 71. So I'm going to copy it over at 36 and 71, and then mirror it from the right side to the left. Deck, that one's a little bit different. Let me show you how to do the deck. The deck is seen best, its profile seen best in the front elevation, the side deck. The water heater is 3'4", which is 40 inch, but your deck is 6 foot long, which is 72 inch. 72 minus 40 is 32. So here again, pick line command. At the bottom of the finished floor, I'm going to draw a line out 40 inch. But here again, you get a step up of 6 inch. But deck boards are 5/4, which is 1.25 by 6. Remember, you got 2 boards per foot. They're 6-inch wide, but they're 5/4 thick. So 5/4 and 6 is going to be 7.25. I'm going to move this line down 7.25. What supports your side deck is a 2x8 joist, so I'm going to copy it down 8-inch. Then I'm going to pick rectangle command. I'm going to draw deck boards off this endpoint here. Press dimensions, type in 6, enter, 1.25, enter. Pick quadrant number 2. If it's cut lumber, it gets section lines, so let me change that. And then I'm going to copy this, but, copy. I'm going to copy it. There should be 6 boards, but one of them's hidden. So on the one that's hidden, newer versions of AutoCAD, you can trim a rectangle. Yeah, I could do it here too. Okay, good. When they put these deck joists, they're also going to use a rim joist. A rim joist kind of closes them in. So I'm going to pick rectangle once again. Let me get back by layer. Rectangle. Start a rectangle here. Dimensions, they're going to be 2, 8. Draw the crisscross section lines, right? All these are supported by a 4x4 post. 4x4 post. So I'm going to press rectangle again. Start a rectangle right here on the inside corner of the rim joist and joist. Press dimensions, type 4, but for my height I'm going to use this endpoint and this endpoint. So I left click gives it height. To draw it in the side view, you're going to pick line command, draw a line, come out. The width of the deck is 48-inch. Copied or move that down 6-inch because you got your step up. Copy it down 5/4 plus 8 is 9.25. So copy it down 1.25 and 9.25. Now you're going to want to draw edges here, like so. And you have no real option here. You got to draw the 4x4 post, dimensions 4-inch, and then left click for my height. You have no option there. You got to use this vertex, so you're going to want to move this. It's going to be on the inside corner, rim joist and joist 2-inch, and then mirror it to the other side, like that. So that'll get your porches and your windows and doors in.